Welcome back. Bourbon Barkeep.
Yes, sir.
Still rolling.
Yes, sir.
I'm Curtis.
Noah.
Thank you.
Great to see you guys again.
I was like, your name is...
Mm-hmm.
Here we are.
Here we are.
2 weeks away, at least recording-wise.
Yeah.
Feels weird.
Like you said, a little rusty.
Yeah.
Can I get back in the swing of things?
Get a little liquid courage in our
That's
body.
right. Yeah. What better way to do it? Henry McKenna 10-year.
So we got a few things coming up.
Like what?
We got... What are we doing? Bracket A, Tuesday?
Yes. Bracket B, Wednesday.
Wednesday. So back-to-back bonus Bourbon Barkeep episodes.
Yeah. Looking forward to it.
So looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm.
We got the championship next Friday.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of the one tasting, we'll do two.
Yep.
So winner of A and B. I'm so jacked up for that.
Yeah. It's going to be exciting. We have 8 just great distillers. You know, it's fun to be able to do something like that we're not necessarily accustomed to doing and putting it to the test for sure.
Yeah, and also showing, I mean, obviously Kentucky known for the bourbon,
Mm-hmm.
but ultimately there's good stuff coming out of at least my home. I
Yeah.
mean, the lines are blurred between
Sure.
Kansas, Missouri at this point.
Right. Our area for sure
yeah.
is kind of blowing up, which is awesome to see.
Yeah, so it's nice to be able to rep the hometown, give you all a chance to hopefully scoop up a bottle.
Mm-hmm.
But for tonight, we have Henry McKenna Bottled and Bond 10-year.
Yeah, can't wait.
I've been looking forward to this one. I have not had it. Have you ever had it?
I a few years ago, I had kind of a hot streak. I found a few different bottles within like a 6-month stretch, and really, really enjoyed it. That was probably 3 years ago now.
Okay.
Hadn't seen it since. So all of a sudden popped up at my local liquor store, I don't know, 6 weeks ago maybe, and it was kind of a name your price. I'm like, I haven't seen it in 3 years. Remember enjoying it so much. I'm like, I'm going to grab one of those, and we're going to do it for the show.
So, been really looking forward to this bottle.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of hype around this bottle. Also a lot of controversy around this bottle.
Sure.
And if you look back on some of our previous episodes,
Mm-hmm.
we did a Confederate soldier.
That was Johnny, right?
That was Johnny Drum.
With his drum.
He picked an unfortunate side
Sure.
in the end result. But ultimately, we're here about Henry McKenna.
Mm-hmm.
So Henry McKenna, Irishman, apparently his family did, I would assume, whiskey.
Yeah, Irish whiskey.
I don't think it was called out, but
Mm-hmm.
we're going to assume whiskey. Over in Ireland, moves to Kentucky, and he's like, hey, I can do one thing, and I do it apparently damn well,
Right.
and I make whiskey. So he's making bourbon, hence Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
So years go by, he's doing his thing, Prohibition happens, fast forward to the 1980s, because there wasn't a ton in between there, history-wise.
Right.
1980s roll around, Heaven Hill acquires the Henry McKenna line, because Henry is probably passed by now. I mean, we're talking...
Yeah, he lived full
Rest
life. So, yeah, R.I.P.
Heaven Hill, who obviously has their own line.
Mm-hmm.
I got a 7-year ready to be reviewed.
Yeah.
They also are over Larceny, who I really enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
Good weeded bourbon. They're over Evan Williams.
Elijah Craig too, right?
Yes.
They're everywhere. They're got their fingerprints on everything, it feels like.
And Elijah Craig at this point could be blank check.
Yeah.
I mean, they're pumping out
They're
good juice.
Yeah. Their barrel proof is one of my favorites, as you know.
So, what was it? 2018, McKenna wins Best Bourbon. So there was already this kind of following around McKenna, because you're talking 10-year,
Mm-hmm.
bottled and bond. So the hype is growing, but not there yet.
Mm-hmm.
Then 2019 happens, and this $35 bottle wins Best Whiskey in the World. So not just bourbon at this point. We're talking whiskey, Japanese whiskey, the Scots,
Irish,
bourbons,
yeah,
all of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then it becomes absurd.
Yeah.
This goes from $35 to near $100, if not more, especially in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So the typical cheers?
Yeah. To you, man. Down. See, I remember this time.
Obviously. Oh, wow. That is cherry.
Delightful. I get no ethanol, alcohol. Like, that's out of the picture. Very smooth, very light.
It is pretty light on the nose.
Mm-hmm.
It is nice because it does enable you to pick up kind of a cherry. I do get some caramel, And
It's the typical caramel vanilla nose that is relatively common.
yeah, there's a lot of sweetness behind it. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if it continues with the cherry, if there's something else lurking.
I definitely get a toasted oak. 10-year, you'd think you would.
You would hope.
It's been sitting in a barrel forever. Yeah, I enjoy it.
That's a great nose.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
It's not as peppery as what I would have kind of thought going into kind of that ultra aged piece of it.
Yeah, it starts with that same caramel vanilla, that sweetness, and then it kind of backs off, and I get some spices toward the end there. I don't know if you do, but...
Yeah, the rye does kind of come through.
Yeah.
So mash bill wise, this is going to be that 78 corn, was it 10 rye or 12 rye? I think it was...
12 rye.
Is that right?
78, 12, 10, yeah. Which one is which as far as the 12, 20? I'm not sure.
I think it was 10 rye for some reason.
Gotcha.
But still a higher rye than what Dickel was, because Dickel was 8.
Yep.
So we're taking our one step up, easing ourselves into rye.
Yeah, it's how I remember it. It's just a really, really good classic. There's no frills. It's just a really good classic bourbon. Yeah, I mean, I don't really have a complaint.
No, I think the finish lingers. It's still on the tongue. I wouldn't say it goes through 3 or 4 waves.
Right.
But ultimately, it's a damn good bottle. If I knew it was 65, that's how we're grading it. It's just a tough market at 65. I mean, at 35, I mean, I couldn't imagine this bottle barrel being $35. I mean, I would be blown away.
Right.
So, senses.
Cool.
We have some waiting going on.
Yep.
So for those new to the channel, like, subscribe. Even if you don't like it, just help us out. Throw us a bone. So the senses, we wait for 50. So that's going to be nose, taste, a little bit of finish, if you will. So all the senses, we weight that heavily. Then you have the it factor, hype behind it, whatever we kind of are in the mood for. You have a hug at 15% weighted. I like a good finish, so we weighted it a little heavier. Availability at 5% of it. So it kind of puts a knock on Pappy, something that you will never find probably.
Sure.
And then bang for the buck. So at $65, bang for the buck is going to be very curious.
Yeah.
So senses, I think I'm going to go a good 70. I think it's a really good smell, great taste, great mouthfeel. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I was gonna go either 70 or 75, and since you said 70, I'll go 73. I'll give you a little one up there. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't have a complaint. It's just really, really solid.
Yes. I mean, it not getting 80, you just kind of have to curb yourself as well. But it factor, you have the awards, you have the mystique. It's interesting because this was the first bottle to where the it factor plays into its favor in a good way, but the availability will play against it.
Sure.
So it'll kind of even out. So it factor, I'd probably go 70 as well. I mean, you have something that people immediately recognize. I mean, you're talking best whiskey in the world a few years ago, but ultimately still trying to do their same thing.
Right. Yeah, and I'll go 75 here because, like I said, this is one of those bottles that your eyebrows raise when you find it in a liquor store. It's not something that you just stumble upon everywhere. And to find one of those bottles, you already kind of have that feeling of excitement inside. You're like, damn, I found a bottle that not many people have found,
Yeah.
And for it to live up to what you hope it would be, I think adds to that. So, yeah, I'll go 75. I don't have any problem doing that. We'll go hug next, right?
Hug.
Okay.
I think initially as I'm kind of racing through hugs in my mind, this hug may score better than what I was thinking. But I think it's like that. I got a second girlfriend hug. It's not first girlfriend hug to where like there's a lot going on.
Mm-hmm.
That second girlfriend hug, you kind of know what you're doing.
Sure.
It still warms you.
It's familiar, but also new.
Yeah. It's like I have a confidence, but ultimately you're a new human that I'm crushing on.
Right. You matured a little bit.
I'm just going to stick in the 70 range,
Okay.
which if
I'm
50
gonna have
is
trouble
our
calculating
base.
your score here.
No. But ultimately, you're just talking, I mean, 70 in my mind is just an absolute wheelhouse bourbon. This is expectation to above average.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll go. So my hug for this would be, and as I said, I was able, I was fortunate enough to find this a couple different times way back when, when I was kind of freshly, newly minted 21-year-old almost.
Just drinking best bourbon in the world and had no idea.
It was $35. But so I'll go like you're 3-4 years out of college, right?
Okay.
You have whatever it may be, but you have some sort of reunion with you and these buddies that you hung out with all senior year.
Okay.
This is when you show up at, let's say you got an Airbnb in Nashville. For whatever reason, you decided to send it to Nashville for a weekend, And this is when, everybody's Ubers from the airport hop into this Airbnb.
I love it.
First person there is getting all the beers set up in the fridge, got the bottles on the counter. Knock on the door, second person arrives. This is that just warm bro hug. Like, dude, it's been way too long.
What a weekend we're in for.
Exactly. It's been way too long. About to have a hell of a time.
Wow.
I've missed you.
This is going to be a big hug.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great weekend, like you said. So I'll go 75.
That's just not a 75 hug. That is an ultimate guy's weekend.
There are so many more hugs that are more
you know what the difference
intimate,
is?
emotional. There are different levels.
I can tell you there's different levels because this is a peek into our personal lives. So you have a girlfriend, no kids.
Yes.
So that hug, Nashville, can happen next weekend. I am dad life, and I don't get those hugs.
I was going to say, maybe I get those hugs.
You described a 95 for me. All right. Availability. This is going to hurt.
It's going to be low. Yeah. To be fair, it's only 5%. So it's only going to be a small knock. I'll go 30.
I think that's a good number.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 30 as well. All right, bang for the buck, but MSRP at this point, regardless of what you're Googling, it's 65 to 70. So you're comparing against some big hitters.
If you can find it for 60, I mean, goodness. Buy two if they let you.
Probably right. My bang for the buck, which is heavily weighted in our algorithm, I'm going to probably go 50. I think it's, when you're comparing against Old Forester, the Prohibition, which I really like, the Knob Creek 12, which is way up there, I'm just going to go, it's fine at 65. Doesn't punch above. If we were talking the $35 price range, it's very different, but I'm just going to go 50.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go 55. Kind of in the same vein as you, as it's what you would hope it would be. In my opinion, it's like slightly better than what you would hope it would be.
Okay.
If it were solely just follow the price, that's a 50 in my opinion. I think it's just a small notch above that, so I'll go 55.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna
tally it up,
and then we'll be right back.
Cool.
All right. So we totaled up.
Yep.
You were a touch higher than me, but just a touch.
Seems like that's the trend, I feel like. I don't know if I have...
Maybe you're rose-colored.
It could be.
Yeah.
Either that or, I'm just easily impressed. I don't know if that's what it is, but I feel like that's been the trend thus far.
I think there's a lane for that. So I was 64.3.
Yep, I was 68 even. So just a damn good bourbon.
It's above 50. Even at 65, 70 would be tough. But if I saw it for 70 and I've never had it, I would pull the trigger. So to wrap up this episode, If there are any bottles out there that you all are itching for us to review, put it in the comments. It may not be a week or two, but we will get to it.
Yep.
Like, subscribe. We have big episodes coming out for the bonus episodes. We got both brackets being released next week.
Yeah, next Tuesday, Wednesday, and then champ episode Friday.
We'll be putting out reels for the results. So if you don't have 20 minutes to watch us, they'll be there.
Yep.
But ultimately, you won't get the tasting notes. So joke's on you. So a few things to wrap up the show. We got congratulations to 2 friends of the show at this point.
Yeah.
The West Bottoms.
Okay.
Best Missouri whiskey they won. Not the Bourbon Barkeep gold medal stamp yet.
How about that? We'll see.
But in a different competition,
We will see.
they took home the gold. So congratulations to them out there. I hope to see them in their distillery one day.
Sure.
Maybe for a private tour. Wink, wink, hint, hint.
Good plug.
We'll see how they fare in the brackets against some of the other ones.
Yeah, next week, man. Excited about it.
I'm so excited.
Yep.
That's going to be fun. And then second friend of the show, Des Rocks, our rock star friend.
I am the lightning.
He's going to be featured on our reel. New album coming out. So excited for him. Outside of that, stay tuned. Like, subscribe again.
Yeah.
And we got big things coming.
Sure.
Very excited. Please.
First lock of the week
Yes.
for weekly plays. Obviously, I gave out a couple of futures I liked way back when, our first few episodes.
Big Ravens fan.
Love the Ravens to win the AFC North and love Clemson win the ACC.
Outside of that,
Cheers to you guys.
see ya.
Appreciate it. See you, man.